borrow my pencil? And he's like, oh, you think it was me because of my past? And she's like, you're sitting next to me. And he's like, she's like, you're sitting next to me, you idiot. And he's like, oh, no, I'm an idiot and the thief. And he's just being so obnoxious.
The worst. I want to punch him in his stupid face.
I hate him so much.
Ugh.
And Connor's like, are we all still going to go play Risk at my house after school? And Casey and Claire are like, no.
Connor is too pure for this world.
And then he's asking Allie, and Allie's like, I have to go pick out the perfect dress for this dance, so no, I'm not going. And
oh my God, it's so good. And he's like, but we always play Risk on Thursdays. And then this girl who we've never seen before, who's sitting at the other side of the table, just goes, I like Risk. And Connor goes, of course you do. It's the best game. And I'm like, oh my gosh.
I love him.
He's such a delight.
And so then he's like, oh, why aren't Claire and Connor back to normal? I don't get it. And Allie's like, it's because they're in like with each other. And and ever since you told Claire about Casey's past, things have been weird. And Connor's like, well, we have to help get them back, like, together. Have to get them normal again. And she's like, no, you do that. I'm not, like, that's your responsibility. Bye.
2 things. 1, it's amazing that she thinks that we can rely on Connor for this. 2, I'm going to start using in like with each other because that's adorable and much more accurate.
Yeah, exactly. And then we're with fucking Peter. He like goes up to Mia and is like, how can I make you see that I like you more than I ever liked Darcy and I love you and I miss you? And she's like, nope, I'm always ever going to be thinking about like what would have happened if Darcy had never left. And he's like, how can I show you? Or how can I change that? And she's like, you can't. And I was like, go away, Peter. Nobody cares.
Who cares? All right. But also like, I'm so annoyed by Mia with this because, like, yeah, you could say that about anyone in any relationship.
Exactly.
Like, I can't date you because I'm always going to wonder what happened with your ex-girlfriend if, like, a situation was different.
Don't go down that road.
Do not. Also, like, you could literally say that about anyone. Like, you could just do that with any relationship forever until you die. Like,
yeah.
You just wonder about that person's ex and like, what if it was different? Like, no, stop it, Mia. You're being weird and high schooly, and I know that she's weird and in high school, but she looks so much older that I like want to expect better of her. She's had to do more growing up than any of them, so I think like some part of me just expects her to be more mature, but she is not.
Oh, no. I mean, but she got pregnant so young that I feel like she had to grow up in some ways, but, like, in her, like, emotional boy world, probably did not grow because her baby daddy was so shitty. So that she has not learned anything.
That's true. So I feel like she's one of those people who's, like, everything she knows about, like, boys and relationships, she learned from, like, just rewatching rom-coms, and that is never a healthy way to be.
Exactly. Although I will say she's being ridiculous, but I can see why she's freaking out about this because Peter probably still would be with Darcy if she hadn't flown away to Africa, to be honest.
Yeah, of course. But, like, she did fly away to Africa. You're not going to change anything.
That's true.
She's not just going to appear out of nowhere. She's busy on 90210.
Yeah. But also, like, Peter was about to go off and be with Darcy. So I understand why she's like, they should have broken up because Peter is being stupid. But I don't know.
Well, I don't want them to get back together. I don't care about this relationship. I'm just saying I think she's being kind of ridiculous.
She is being ridiculous, but she's always ridiculous. Anyway, oh God. And then Connor is talking to Claire and he's talking to Casey and he's like, come over and play Risk. Like, Claire's not even going to be there. Come over. And Casey's like, okay. And I was like, Connor, please do not try to parent trap them. This is not going to work. But then we're at the Dot and Holly J's just hanging out, even though she doesn't have to work that day. And Spinner is like, so I read on the Anti-Grapevine that you like turned down Blue. And I'm like, why is Spinner reading the Anti-Grapevine? He doesn't even go to that school anymore. And
the thing that the Anti-Grapevine said that I thought was kind of funny is like, which Degrassi student interested in art turned down a date with Blue for a mystery man? Since when is Holly J actually
not interested in art?
She was interested in Blue.
She's terrible at art. We've already established this.
They had like a whole C plot about it.
She doesn't understand it at all. But then, and Spinner's like, come on, why aren't you going out with him? I don't know. I kind of admire the guy. Or she's like, why are you trying to push me on him anyway? It's like, I admire him. Like, what? Why? I don't get this.
Oh, it's because he's like, he like looked past the cold exterior and like sees you for how cool you are or whatever.
I don't know.
He pays her some sort of like weird compliment that's not a compliment that's like kind of sweet though. Like I understand being endeared by that.
I'm going to be honest. I was kind of distracted because he's so pretty right now.
He's so pretty.
Also, when did the Dot get that like screen menu? Did you notice that? It was like a movie theater menu? I don't get it.
I don't know. They've been doing some updates.
I guess so. And then, oh my God. And then, is this when they're closing up? Or is that later? Because I just have, Spinner's super hot right now.
It is when they're closing up. It is when they're closing up.
Jesus Christ, he's holding that gun to the side, this dummy.
Oh yeah. So this guy comes in and he like orders a burger and Holly J's like, we closed, and like Spinner's like, no, we can make him a burger, and she's like, no, he's like, I knew him from Lakehurst, he's like a dirtbag basically, and then he like freaks out and pulls out a gun, and he's holding it sideways like they do like incorrectly throughout movies, and like now in movies whenever someone does that, like I feel like people just like break their arms or something to like prove like you're doing this wrong, you doofus.
Yeah.
It's totally like the wannabe like gangster move.
Yeah, like turning it to the side, like it's stupid.
Which is like, do not hold a gun that way. There's a kickback. You're gonna break your fucking elbow.
And he's like, give me all your money, like empty the safe, blah blah blah. He's like robbing them, and then
we're all like, oh, gasp. And then we're with Connor again, who's just a sweet boy. He's talking to Claire, and he's like, I'm going to go get us some snacks. And she's like, you're being such a good host.
And then, like, Casey comes down, and then he's like, I lock you in the basement now. Sort out your problems. And they're like, oh, God, why? And then we're back at the Dot, and Spinner's, like, going to go get shit out of the safe. But then he, like, grabs a baseball bat and, like, a dummy. Like, what are you going to do with a baseball bat, Spinner? This guy has a gun. And then the guy is like, oh no, I'm actually gonna shoot you. And Holly J like jumps in front of him, and she's like, don't, he's being a stupid hero. Like, we'll give you all the money, you can go out there like the back, I don't know. And then there's a knock on the door at the Dot, and it's Blue, and the gun guy is like, get rid of him. And Holly J like cracks open the door and is like, this is not a good time, I don't want to go to the dance. He's like, come on, you gotta admit that there's something between us. And she's like, there's nothing, you need to leave, bye. But all the while she's like writing on the glass like gun to kind of signal that something bad is happening.
Because she's a genius, and she keeps like glancing down at it, like exaggerated, like being like, please look at this.
Like, look at this, please.
He's like, what? Because Blue is Jordan Catalano.
But he gets it.
It takes him a minute.
Well, he gets it once she closes the door. And he's like, wait, why does that say? Gun? Okay, something's wrong.
This little doof.
And
he's so pretty, though.
Then we're back. Oh, I think this is when Connor locks them in the basement. But then we're at the Dot, and they're inside, and like, I don't remember what Spinner is doing. Is he trying to open the door? And the guy's freaking out.
So the guy's freaking out, and Spinner, and he's like, you have to let me out the back door. You have to unlock it. So Spinner gets the keys, and he goes back there, and he's like, and Holly J is talking to the guy with the gun, and they're like fighting or freaking out or whatever. And Spinner like fumbles because he's freaking out. Notice, like, understandably, and he knocks over a lamp, and it breaks. And the guy, like, just on, like, a freaked-out impulse, shoots him in the shoulder.
Yeah. And I was like, what? What? Spinner gets shot? I did not remember this episode at all. And then cut to fucking Sav and Peter playing Rock Band. Like, I don't give a shit about this.
So funny. Oh,
they're singing, like, taking care of business.
Which I don't even remember being a song available on Rock Band, but
I don't know if it is. I don't know. If maybe it's on Rock Band 1. I always only played Rock Band 2. Anyway.
I remember they had the Yes on there.
They're playing Rock Band, and I don't even remember what they're talking about.
So, Sav gets a phone call.
Sav gets a phone call.
And it's like, there are all these cop cars outside of the Dot. And he's like, Mia and Anya were going to go there after shopping. Which, like, doesn't make sense because Mia and Anya were still shopping and the Dot had already closed. So, no, they were not.
Yeah.
This is dumb. I hate this part.
But it's just, like, a way to, like... It's just the way to, like, weirdly force Peter and Mia to get back together. It's so stupid. And they're like, we gotta go check on them and see if they're there. And then... Are we back at the Dot? I just wrote down this guy's a fucking idiot.
Yeah. Well, then all of a sudden all the sirens are happening because all the cops are there. And he's like, you called the cops, blah, blah, blah. And, like, she's just like, Holly J is just, like, trying to stop the bleeding.
Yeah.
And she's like, no, I didn't. And
Spinner's like, they probably heard the gunshot. Like, it's not exactly quiet. And then the guy's like, I don't know what to do. And then we're back in the basement with Casey and Claire, and Casey's just being, like, so fucking annoying with this goddamn chip on his shoulder. And he's being like, people like you always judge people like me. Blah, blah, blah. And she's like, people like me? And I thought I was supposed to be the judgmental one. You're being an idiot. And they're just fighting about this stupid thing. And then Connor, like, comes down with, like, juices. And he's, like, bringing juice to his prisoners. And then Casey's like, I'm leaving. And Connor's like, what's happening?
Like, are you guys back together yet? No?
Yeah.
Oops.
Oh, Connor.
Oh, Connor. I love Connor. He's too sweet for this world.
I know. But then... Oh, God. And then we're at the Dot, and Peter and Sav show up, and they're like, oh, my God, what's going on? And someone's like, someone in there has a gun. Oh, no. And then... Anya and Mia, like, walk up behind them, and they're like, what's happening? And they're like, oh, my God, I'm so happy you're safe. And Peter, like, runs to Mia and, like, kisses her. And he's like, I thought you were in there. Like, I didn't know it was going to happen. You never would have known how I felt. And then they, like, just start, like, making out.
No, because then he's like, I love you. And then they start making out. But here's the thing. He's, like, this changes nothing. He's like, you never would have known how I felt. But he's been telling her how he feels this whole time.
I know, it's
like,
stupid.
He has not stopped. He will not shut the fuck up about how he feels about Mia.
And it's just like, of course he's making this dramatic situation about him when it has nothing to do with him at all.
I think that's maybe why I'm just, like, so annoyed by this Sav and Peter thing. Like, people who are, like, there's always those people who are going to try to make a tragedy about themselves.
Exactly. It's like, this tragic thing that happened to somebody else just made me realize in my life that, like, this like, I need to wake up. I don't know. Whatever. But somehow this, like, convinces Mia that he's actually serious about her and not Darcy or something. And it's stupid.
Who fucking
I don't
cares?
give a fuck.
But Jane
Mia's gonna leave soon anyway for the CW, and Peter's gonna, like, be by himself again. So
all of
whatever.
his girlfriends leave him for the CW.
Yes. As they should.
Right? And then Jane shows up, and she's like, what the fuck is happening? And they're like, Holly J's in there. And she's like, and Spinner?
And they're like, oh, no. And then we're back inside.
She, like, looks like she's gonna cry.
I
like,
know.
this actress is so good. And her...
Fucking love
she's
her.
like her... She just has, like, tears welled up in her eyes. And I'm like, Jane!
She's the best. And then we're inside, and Holly J is like... The guy's like, oh, no, like, I messed up. Like... Everything's going wrong. Like, I don't know what to do. And Holly J's like, I understand how you feel. And he's like, no, I remember you from Lakers, Holly J. You're, like, rich and popular and perfect and cheerleader, la, la, la. And Holly J's like, actually, like, she's like, not anymore. I got kicked off the cheerleading team. I lost all my friends. And my parents lost all the money. And that hero back there, I'm in love with him, but he's crazy about his girlfriend. And I'm like, you did not need to admit that to this guy. That was totally unnecessary, but whatever, sure.
But I feel like he wasn't gonna, like, be as sympathetic. Like, I feel like that was just, like, icing on the cake. Like, I think that is the thing that's, like, making her feel like her life is a disaster, like, more than anything else.
Yeah,
because everything else just seemed like, oh, poor sad rich girl's less rich now, and I don't think this Lakers guy would have appreciated it, because she also didn't seem that freaked out until she, like, mentioned the Spinner thing.
That's
like,
true.
I think that's the real thing that's eating away at her, and, like, nothing to do with, like, the other stuff is kind of old news for her now too. Like, yeah. she's adjusted. She has, like, a much, like, more interesting life now than she did before.
She has new friends.
Yeah,
she has Spinner and Jay.
And Spinner confusingly calls them both Jay.
I don't understand why Spinner calls Holly J Jay. It's stupid. You already have a friend called Jay. This is confusing. That's not her name. That's not my name. Anyway, and then the guy's like, ugh, like, I'm going to take you out as my hostage. And she's like, if you do that, they're going to shoot you.